right, you heard Leviticus. Time to get back to work. While the counselors remain here and wait for the scribe to show up, we need to determine what your Dark Brotherhood friends are actually up to. Show me that letter you found in Gideon. Yeah, these are definitely orders. It mentions Blood Run Cave. That's northeast of Leowyn, toward the edge of Blackwood territory. Well, as the spinners always say, the best way to find out what's happening in the clearing is to step into it. Of course it does. Nothing has been easy since I found that strange book and started chasing down Leovik's secret. Well, are you still interested in solving the mystery of the ambitions? Will you come with me to Blood Run Cave? Meet me at Blood Run Cave. Despite your assurances, we need to determine beyond a shadow of a doubt whether the Dark Brotherhood is behind the murders or not. I'm still not sure I can trust you. You're an assassin, and you only just told me. All right, but why keep it a secret from me? We were trying to prevent the counselors from being murdered, but 4 people had to die before you decided to mention your connection to the murderers. Oh, sorry, possible murderers. Yeah, we did, didn't we? All right, your secret's safe with me. But if the Dark Brotherhood turns out to be involved and you lied to me, well, let's assume that's not going to happen. I just hope I don't have another one of those waking visions. Remember back at Fort Blueblood when we found the murdered servant? I had a vision of a shadowy figure. It was a robed and hooded cultist. Order of the Waking Flame, I think. It was brief and powerful, over in a moment, but the figure felt evil. What else could it be? It's written in an unknown language. Probably Daedric. Lupus sent me to find it, so it must be important. The last vision was a warning about the cultists. I can't let them get this book. I'll hang on to it, no matter what. I'll meet you at Blood Run Cave.
You made the right call, Leviticus. It won't be safe until the Dark Brotherhood is driven out of Blackwood.
My people... I must met the business end of...
This is gonna be...
Change of plans?
to report anything?
I can't wait to take a load off at the inn.
I'm quite busy, can't you see?
Wow, you don't come by those too often.
Well, we can't wait any longer. We should begin the experiment.
With no porters, no assistants. This endeavor's been a farce from the start, Revis. Now it's a doomed one.
Well, here's a turn of luck. It's me, Revis. You helped me out of a scrape in Nisus some time back, remember? Quamamine, tonal resonator, devoured bard. Good times. Anyway, here we go again. You, me, and an experiment going poorly. House Telvanni is funding a practical test of my latest invention, the phantasmal sensor. It exercises spirits, ghosts, and other spectral beings near instantaneously. The unquiet dead claim countless lives each season, but no longer. The porters and assistants I contracted with have been waylaid in Narcissus, some manner of food poisoning. I'm desperate for an extra set of eyes and hands to help with labor and preparations. Nothing dangerous, I assure you. Oh, I'm so relieved you agreed to help. Before you arrived, I feared my overseers at House Telvanni really might... No matter. Tyrus and I already set up a small field laboratory in the ruined Veyond. Meet us inside and we'll get started. Certainly. It's a wedding of Barrelsar's theories on the interactions of tonal and spectral forces with a resonance housing of my own design. Activating it should render any ghosts in proximity completely mute. A clever bit of engineering, I suppose. What? No, I'm extremely excited about it. My superiors in Tel Naga called it a product of minor interest. Believe me when I say that's as robust an endorsement as I'm ever likely to earn. If the Telvanni Council thinks it's worthwhile, so do I. Tiris is a junior oathman of House Telvanni. At this point in his education, he's obliged to accompany a spellwright like myself on a few field excursions. Sort of an apprenticeship. Honestly, in his case, it's just a formality. Tiris is an incredible talent, of the sort that only appears once in a generation. What's more, his family is extremely well-connected. He lives the Telvanni creed effortlessly. I wager he'll be Archmagister one day. Really putting me on the spot, aren't you? There are aspects of Telvanni culture I find abhorrent, the practice of slavery being chief among them. We do what we can. When the only alternative is exile, it's complicated. When you're on a mission to quiet down restless ghosts, you go where the restless ghosts are. Angry spirits pile up in these Ayleid ruins like weevils in a hollow log. Feck only knows why. I've never taken much interest in Ayleid history. In Morrowind? I wouldn't think of it. Silencing an ancestor is blasphemous, even if some of them deserve it. My Aunt Cernsea can't let a visitation go by without complaining about her urn. We know you wanted purple. Get over it already, right?
Taking assistance from random passers-by. The Magisters of the House will most certainly have opinions on this.
Something you need to discuss? What would you like to talk about? You're a pretty good adventuring partner, I'd say. Reliable, agreeable. No complaints. Hope we find something interesting today.
Isn't the best defense always a good attack?
Finally, we can get started. There's a lot riding on this experiment's success. So yes, let's all stay focused and diligent. And also very, very careful. I need you to paint some stabilizing runes around the area to reinforce the sensor's magics. They're not all that elaborate, I promise, but do be mindful. I'm not leaving anything to chance this time. Here are the materials in a template. I infused the paint with ground soul gems to reinforce the rune's potency. At great personal expense, I might add. Right, Tyrus? There's no price too high for success. Try not to use it all right? I have a few more calibrations to attend to. As for Tyrus, he'll probably, you know, observe, for educational purposes. You can speak with him if you have any other questions. Set guide you, my friend. Remember, precision is of the utmost importance, so no loafing or dawdling, you! I'm sorry. We're supposed to use harsh declaratives like that to motivate people. Are you? Yeah, I can tell you're motivated. Great, that's great. The housing I created for the phantasmal sensor should contain the energies it releases well enough. I employed a fascinating helical boring technique invented by the dwarves of Arkingthand. I have all sorts of ideas for... Sorry, that can wait. Right, sorry. The runes provide a stabilizing aura to prevent any real spectacular tonal reactions or spectral anomalies. I triple-checked every aspect of the experiment, but a mage can never be too careful. Especially if that mage is me. Difficulties? Ha, no, certainly not. I just placed great emphasis on safety. Sure, there have been a few bumps along the way, but like the old wizards say, in the mountains of magical praxis, one never climbs in vain.
Soul gem-infused runes slathered on alien walls. The poor condition of the stone combined with imprecise template virtually guarantees a lack of efficacy. What is Revis, an amateur? What am I saying? Of course he is. Come to think of it, Revis. Finally, someone else makes an astute observation. Congratulations, you've just become the second smartest person in the room. The runes Revis wants painted will have, at most, a negligible impact. They're essentially just expensive vandalism. Don't be thick. I have nothing to learn from the likes of Revis Demnevani. This is a mere formality. When I ascend to the council, I will make weeding out hedge mages like Revis my first priority. Oh, yes. Revis knows where he stands with the Telvanni Council. On a precipice, and after today's nonsense, he will finally fall off.
Watching.
Welcome back. The runes are in place, right? I'm anxious to begin the experiment. Excellent. By the three, can I just tell you how refreshing it is to hear a voice of support? Thank you. Now, the next step is a bit more complicated. I need you to assist me with a phantasmal sensor's kindling sequence. These magical pylons provide the key. Fair warning, they can be a bit unruly, but the fundamentals are sound. Spectral energy will pass between them freely, but sometimes the crystals dislodge. If that happens, I need you to reattune them. Just pay attention to the energies flowing between them. If no spectral motes pass through one of the pylons, you'll know that's the one that needs fixing. I should warn you, if you try to attune a functional pylon, you might feel a mild shock. It's nice to have a willing pair of hands to assist me. Tyrus seems well acquainted with instruments like these. He could make a real contribution if he wasn't so set on observing all the time. I wish I could convince him to help. Ah, well. Certainly. Just keep a close eye on the spectral energy leaping between the pylons. If you don't see any energies flowing to or from a pylon, then I'll need you to reattune it for me.
Well, aren't you supposed to be helping Revis with this folly? No, a lot. I'd barely left the cradle when I erected my first arcane pylon. But if you're asking me to assist Revis in this buffoonery, I'd sooner put trousers on a Vardvark. It's just as fruitless, but infinitely more adorable. I suppose that's your attempt at being clever. Very well, I'll rise to the bait. The sooner we're done with this, the better. Know this, however. I'll not employ his silly whack-a-hackwing methodology. Witness a true mage in action. If you're quite finished, Revis. An artless configuration, to be sure. Balancing the crystal resonance is simple enough. There, a perfect calibration. Much good may it do you.
It's working. Just a moment more and... What? Why isn't it... Good grief! Damn it all! I triple-checked the pylons last night. I field-tested the runes. I've read everything Barrelzar's ever written aside from his fetching diary, and it still doesn't work. Still! Why won't it work? It needs to work! No. No! You followed my instructions to the letter, and I practically killed myself proving out the theories in my laboratory back home. Literally. My eyebrows only recently grew back. It can't just be bad luck. I must have missed something. Something in Beyond. Some arcane anomaly that disrupts the function of pylons. Of course, the ruin I choose to work in suffers from some heretofore unseen pylon scrambling hocus-pocus. Just another day in the life of Revis Demnavani. Well, we need to find the source of the disturbance. Take Tyrus and explore the lower chambers. It shouldn't take him long to identify the culprit. Just make sure to keep him safe. If anything happens to him, my Kwama is well and truly cooked. Right. I'll stay here and inspect the instruments. Again. If I didn't find any flaws the first 3 times, I doubt I'll find any now. But who knows? Maybe Tyrus is right. Maybe this is just a huge waste of time. What do I think? What does that matter? The Telvanni Council detests my work on duamitonal mechanics. They want nothing to do with my study of rare eggs. The phantasmal sensor is the only thing I've ever created that won their approval. Really that important? Well, of course it is. I'm a member of House Telvanni, for Vex's sake. If the Council drums me out, what would I do? Who would I share my theories with? No, once that door closes, it closes forever. It's unthinkable. Absolutely. Yes. Maybe. I don't know, but I have to try. Would I rather be poking around in a dwarven ruin, unraveling the mysteries of tonal architecture? Yes, but no one ever said arcane practice always leads to excitement.
Well, let's get this farce underway. Our maps of Veyond didn't depict this tunnel. Vex head. Be on your guard. Trolls? Hideous savage beast! Keep that brute away from me! There, in the distance, more alien masonry. Finally, no more mucking around the dirt like some clumsy salt rice farmer. There's a strange aura on the other side of this door. Can you feel it? What am I saying? Oh, then, can't. These Vala stones are clouded. Some manner of arcane erosion. They must be the source of Revis's trouble. Destroying them in this state could generate an explosive burst of magicka, and draining their power is no small feat. Unless, of course, you happen to be me. Smash away, hero. And let's get out of this place.
Tiris, the interference. I think it may come from clouded...
Vala stones? Indeed. The help and I already dealt with them. You're welcome.
Oh, well, thank you. Wait. Does anyone else feel that?
Intruders? Get out! Get out!
A spirit. Stand back, both of you. It's time for a true test of the phantasmal sensor.
Get it away from me! Back, you creature! I mean it!
Wait, Tiris! No! Ah! Oblivion, take me. He's dead. Tiris is dead. This is a catastrophe. What are we gonna do? I tried to use the phantasmal sensor to quiet that alien spectre, but Tiris panicked and started to banish it with his own magic. His banishing spell mixed with the sensor's power and whoosh, snuffed out like a candle. I'm doomed. Just vanished. Yeah, sure, just vanished. To the afterlife. This is classic Revis, you know. I'm a pox. I'll just need a moment to think about what I'm going to tell the house about Tiris and the sensor, wherever it flew off to.
What is happening to me?
Oh, Tiris. Even now I can hear him in my mind, haunting me.
I can't. Help me! Use the sensor!
Tyrus, he's not gone after all. Please forgive me, Sarah. While I was wallowing in self-pity, you were out here trying to clean up my mess. And by the three, Tyrus still lives. Or exists at any rate. What happened when you found him? Along with the clouded Vala stones. Interesting. The sensor might have prompted some kind of animus inversion. The specifics can wait. Whatever happened, he's still aware of his surroundings. You might be able to fix this. We? No. I've done enough damage. I'll come along, offer scholarly advice and such, but you're the only person I trust to see this through. The first step is finding Tyrus. His soul seems bound to the ruin and these stones. The clouded Vala stones are sort of thickening the magical fabric of this place. A soul like Tyrus's would cause ripples. Allow me to make a small modification to the sensor. There. If you use it now, it should illuminate Tyrus's path. I've proven beyond shadow of a doubt that I can't be trusted with that thing. For anyone who is not me, using the sensor is quite simple. Activate it, and a mote of spectral energy should coast toward Tyrus. Just follow the mote. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Best to focus on navigating the ruin. I seriously doubt that Bayon's shown us all its nasty surprises.
The light! The clouded light! It calls!
I never used to fight this much, until I met you.
Hurry! I can't any longer!
Tyrus, and more clouded Vala stones. By the three, were the aliens selling them wholesale? I'll probably regret this, but I'll try to attune the stones. You push them out of position. Maybe that will set him free.
No! Not enough!
I know that did not look like a success, but I think I know what's happening. These clouded Vala stones. The aliens wouldn't have carved imperfect stones in this quantity by accident. There's intention here. They're meant to attract spectral energy like moths to a flame. That's why we keep finding Tyrus among them. Well, it doesn't just yet, but we're definitely onto something. The sensor can banish the stones, and my attunement spell can stabilize them long enough to dislodge them safely. You are one step closer to fixing this. You? What do you do now? Keep tracking Tyrus. I'll try to puzzle out a way to use the sensor and attunement spell to restore Tyrus's corporeal form. We have to move quickly, though. If we don't reach him soon, critical animus decay might set in. That's because it is bad. Let's pick up the pace, all right? over there! It's Tyrus!
So close!
I think I know what's going on. Tyrus is trying to resist the pull of the clouded Vala stones, but his strength is waning. Luckily, he's running into these smaller stone clusters, sort of like falling out of a tree and hitting all the branches on the way down. I'm wagering there is a greater load of this clouded glass somewhere in the ruin. A stockpile or something that dwarfs these other Vala stones in size, potency, or both. Tyrus should eventually find himself there. I can't imagine it will be pleasant, but with enough of the clouded glass in one place, we might be able to create a large enough resonance to restore Tyrus's corporeal form. You using the phantasmal sensor, and me using the attunement spell. I have to. Without my attunement spell, the sensor could banish Tyrus for good. I can't hide from this forever. I am a mage. Hapless and clumsy, perhaps, but a mage all the same. I owe it to Tyrus, to you, and to myself to try. This plan will work, right? Of course it will work. Just follow that moat. I am. It might be a bit morbid, but all this dashing around and puzzle solving, it's why I love being a wizard. I'd nearly forgotten that with Tyrus and House Telvanni pushing me around. We all have to follow our bliss, right? Mine's in old ruin.
Try for mummy.
Aem's mercy. Tyrus is fading faster. Quickly, just smash these stones and we'll hope for the best. There. Now, use the sensor. We have to find the central load. It's not a cluster of glass. It's an entire well. All right, let's go over the plan. We were looking for a pile of clouded glass, and instead, we found a limitless font of unstable magicka. Shame we have to destroy it. But let's be honest, I would have found a way to accidentally destroy it before long. Are you ready to save Tyrus? First, we need to replicate the original event. Aim the phantasmal sensor at him and unleash its power. While you're doing that, I'll cast the attunement spell. Weaving the two together should dislodge his animus and restore his corporeal form. Much less confident than you'd like. If it's any consolation, most magisters aren't certain of a hypothesis until they test it. Our test just happens to have the potential for cataclysmic results. Discharging spells and jangling magic sensors in front of an unstable well could prove explosive, but nothing is certain. Magic is more art than science. At least that's what I tell myself in situations like this. 7 in 10, give or take. You've faced worse odds before, though, right? Come on, hero. Let's do some heroing. It's working. We did it. Tiris, are you all right?
Revis! I am alive. Oh, thank you. AM's mercy, I thought I was dead. I never should have cast that. But the ghost was there and I just panicked.
Oh, dear. There, Tiris. Why don't we head back to camp, all right?
I'm writing the Magister straight away, Revis. You will receive accolades aplenty.
Oh, that's, very generous, Tiris. Thank you. Well, this is unexpected. I'd resolved to spend the rest of my life in exile, but now Tiris is singing my praises. Do you think he hit his head or something? I guess anyone can have a change of heart when they have a brush with fate like this. Hopefully, Tiris's testimonial will earn me some latitude with House Telvanni. Not enough to rise in rank, mind you, but enough to keep them off my back for a while. None of this would have been possible without you. Thank you, Sarah. Safe travels, my friend. And if you ever find yourself in Nisus, feel free to drop by. As soon as I can, yes. The sensor was always a means to an end. Tiris's letter should give me the boost I need to continue my real work. Rare eggs, dwarven machines, vegetable conjuring, all the bizarre obsessions that House Telvanni scorned. Ha! No. I'm far too clumsy to evade the Telvanni Council's contempt for long. But we have to treasure the time we have, right? I'm sure I'll make some really worthy discoveries before they start nosing around in my work again.
claim victory for our lord.
In a big family, you have to know how to scrap. like your odds.
quite capable. Might I be able to recruit you to help me? This place was once an honorable tomb for fallen members of the Dark Brotherhood. But now it houses a perversion of death. The cycle, which devours all, has been corrupted here. I belong to the clutch of Niswo. I came to this place to perform last rites for 3 well-respected shadow scales entombed here. But I was chased out by a necromancer called Tuma Mazath, who seeks to disturb their remains for selfish purposes. Yes, when I arrived here, he had already raised many shadow scale bodies to fight for him. In order to spare the 3 I came to perform last rites upon from this fate, I must destroy their skeletons. Will you help? I can pay you for your services. The remains of these renowned shadow scales deserve the peaceful emptiness of the void. Destruction must pass before creation and change can begin anew. Hurry. We must find the remains inside the cave and destroy them. While it is true that the souls of these shadow scales returned to the Hist long ago, their remains still deserve peace. Their bones need not become puppets to a madman drunk on power. Burning them is the only way to prevent that. They were closer to Sithis than most, each powerful in their own right, buried here to honor their path in life, which is why I came here to begin with. But when Tuma Mazath disinterred them for his own gain, he dishonored their remains. We have also been called Nothing Speakers. We are a fellowship that honors Sithis and the truths of the Void. We all speak different words, but our purpose follows those lessons. One must first apprentice under a mentor before joining our ranks. Each Niswo is different. I choose to honor Sithis by ensuring that the unavoidable truths, such as fear, death, darkness, and change, are not compromised. Time is a force of change. We should hurry.
Glad you made it. I wasn't looking forward to going much deeper without you. So this is Blood Run Cave, huh? Creepy. You go on ahead. I'll follow behind you. Make sure nothing tries to ambush us. I'll catch up farther in. Check the letter you found. It said something about a door located deeper inside the cave. And there was a strange line about death being the key, whatever that means. Go on. I'll follow along shortly.
Tuma Mazath already uncovered the remains. Quickly, destroy them. All that is created must eventually be destroyed, and then renewed. The cycle is unbroken.
Bit of a warm-up. Back, you fetcher! want to hurt you, but now I'm going to. there. Thanks for asking.
May these bones find the emptiness of the void.
I guess this is a fight now. Don't like your odds.
Let's keep going.
The skull of this shadow scale is missing.
Hey,
I think I
stick
know
with
why.
me.
The piece of destruction. We successfully destroyed almost all of the remains, but the shadow scale with the missing skull is cause for concern. I believe those remains once belonged to Ajum Shay. A shadow scale who was said to have plucked out his own eye and sealed a powerful necromantic gem within the socket. It granted him the power to see lost spirits. Tuma Mazath must have taken it in order to conduct his ritual. If I am correct, we must locate Tuma Mazath's ritual site. If he used the skull and the gem inside to power his ritual, it should be nearby. We must make sure to destroy the skull and finish our work. Let us hurry before the chance is lost. I am not certain, but I believe Tuma Mazath either knew about the gem previously, or sensed its power when he unearthed Ajum Shay's remains. The necromantic properties of such a gem would likely be a great strengthening agent to any ritual. A ritual of this magnitude would take time to prepare. Tuma Mazath would need to find a place to ready the necessary components and use the skull as a focal point. Should we find the ritual site, the skull will most certainly be there.
Of them. Oh, thank feck.
Let us not waste time.
This way.
This looks promising. Let's talk. That creepy black door. That's gotta be the entrance to the Dark Brotherhood sanctuary. I doubt it's as simple as turning a knob, because that door doesn't have one. Let me see that letter you found again. Wasn't there something about a key? Gutted, untold danger, long trek, clear out. Ah! Here it is. And remember, death, my brother. That's the key. You really do know your Dark Brotherhood stuff? Sure would have been helpful if you mentioned any of this a lot earlier. All right, assassin. Is that what I call you now? If you're so smart, go and open the door. I'll wait. Go ahead. See if that passphrase opens the creepy black door.
Is the sound that fills the unending silence. What?
Still looking for your murderer? Well, you've come to the wrong place, my friends.
We found the black hands beside every body.
Must I say it again? Haven't we already had this conversation, sister? Tell your little wood elf friend that we are not her enemy and go find the real killers. You know the Dark Brotherhood doesn't play coy. If this was our doing, we would proudly admit it. I'd like some too. I'm curious to find out who has the gall to frame the Dark Brotherhood. And rather successfully, I might add. That's no small feat. Whoever it is, they managed to trick the lot of us. Crafty indeed. Nothing substantial. You're the closest link we have to whoever this unknown enemy happens to be. Now that you're here, maybe you could... What? Now what? Cultists, portaling in. Quickly, secure the sanctuary.
That's the Order of the Waking Flame. What are they doing here? Come on, we need to figure out what's going on. This can't be a coincidence. Did the Waking Flame cultists follow us here?
They're coming for us.
Trying to occupy this sanctuary. But why?
You know, I like to think I'm agreeable.
Warn the High Priest!
Oh, I think not. All right. What were we discussing before they so rude? I assume this will satisfy your masters in Leowyn. The Dark Brotherhood is not your enemy. The Order of the Waking Flame invaded our sanctuary and killed my brothers and sisters. I can't let them get away with that. Seems to me the cultists didn't want you talking to me. Didn't want you hearing me tell you for the 100th time that the Dark Brotherhood didn't kill those counselors. If you ask me, those are your murderers. The Order of the Waking Flame. Opportunity and motive. Look, I don't know what that may be, and I don't want to know. But I do want to step through this portal and stick my dagger in their High Priest's throat. Care to come along? Good. Now you'll see how a Dark Brotherhood assassin deals with unsanctioned targets. And please notice that I won't be dropping any notes or leaflets along the way. Come on. Let's go before the portal closes.
Stay with the assassin. I'll inform Captain Rianne and Counselor Leviticus about the cultists.
An alien ruin? Not the worst place for a Daedric cult to hide out. Let's look around. Looks like I'm not the only one who leaves important papers lying about. Give that a read, why don't you? Their High Priest actually ordered them to kill us!
Off with you, Swit!
That amulet looks important. Better hang on to that. A close approximation of our calling card, but that entire pile is obviously a forgery. So the Order of the Waking Flame killed your counselors and placed the blame on the Dark Brotherhood. Then their High Priest sent his followers to kill us. Care to enlighten me as to what this is actually all about now? All this fuss and bother over an old Imperial secret? Let's review what we learned. The High Priest of the Order of the Waking Flame sent cultists to the Sanctuary to eliminate both my Dark Brotherhood assassins and you and the Wood Elf. Obviously the cult has someone watching you. They knew exactly when to attack, certain we'd all be in the Sanctuary. Plus, they were after some cash hidden there. So who are these cultists? So the Order of the Waking Flame killed your counselors and placed the blame on the Dark Brotherhood. Then their High Priest sent his followers to kill us. Care to enlighten me as to what this is actually all about now? All this fuss and bother over an old Imperial secret? Let's review what we learned. The High Priest of the Order of the Waking Flame sent cultists to the Sanctuary to eliminate both my Dark Brotherhood assassins and you and the Wood Elf. Obviously the cult has someone watching you. They knew exactly when to attack, certain we'd all be in the Sanctuary. Plus, they were after some cash hidden there. So who are these cultists? And how well do you trust your masters in Leowyn? I'm not suggesting anything, just following the clues. If the cultists are Dagonists, then their High Priest is probably a true fanatic. This secret must be pretty important, and most likely pertains to death and destruction. Let's keep searching. Let's see if something deeper inside this ruin points us to the identity of the cult's High Priest. Figure out who they are, and you may learn more about this secret than you ever imagined. Oh, and you still have that amulet. It might come in handy. Because I owe them for besmirching the good reputation of the Dark Brotherhood and for ordering the deaths of my brothers and sisters. And because now, I'm curious. It's like an itch that needs to be scratched. No. The orders suggested it was placed in the sanctuary after we abandoned it the first time. We hadn't finished reopening the place, and I hadn't run across any hidden caches. Another mystery, I suppose. Let's keep looking. This door looks impressive. Let's see what's on the other side.
Getting good at this. Oh, I probably shouldn't be proud of that.
Over here. Voices.
We failed to kill all the assassins, and the Wood Elf and the mercenary are still alive.
Yes. The High Priest isn't going to be happy about that, but we retrieved the cache hidden in the old sanctuary.
With the contents of the cache, the High Priest should be able to determine where to find the first ambition.
Agreed. And we will soon have the location of another one of the ambitions. As just another Imperial counselor, the High Priest has them all fooled.
Now that's something new. What do you think? Sometimes listening provides the answers we seek. It seems their High Priest is actually one of your counselors. That explains how they knew your movements. And they found whatever they were looking for in the sanctuary. I'd rather not know any more about this damn secret. It's cursed. But did you see how they opened that portal? They used their amulet on the pedestal. You still have the one we found? Let's find another pedestal and see if we can follow them. keep looking. We need to find a pedestal like the one those cultists used.
Would it kill them to run away? Well, no, I guess it wouldn't. Maybe they should try that.
That pedestal looks promising. Let's talk before you try to open a portal. This may work. It may not. We may open a portal that takes us to the cultists, or we may open one to some dark and deadly corner of oblivion. Still, nothing ventured, nothing gained. So, ready to try something daring? It looked to me like the cultists used their amulet on the pedestal and opened a portal. Examine the pedestal and see if there's a place to fit the amulet. These Dagonist fools think they've gotten the better of us. Let's prove them wrong. Well, we have a portal. Now to find out if leaping into it turns out to be a good or bad idea.
We're being followed, acolyte. That should...
All right, not quite for humming. Maybe I should have joined the buoyant armigers.
Vandacia is the Order's High Priest. I knew I disliked the man the moment he had me beaten. We're too late. The location of the ambition was sent to the High Priest. What was that about an attack on Leywin Castle? So, now I know who needs to die for this grave insult to the Dark Brotherhood. Counselor Vandacia, the High Priest of the Waking Flame. But what do you make of that journal entry about the first ambition and an attack on Leywin Castle? They got what they were after, and now they're sending their forces to kill the rest of the councillors. With the other councillors dead, Vandacia will be the only person who knows the secret of the Longhouse Emperors. And Vandacia will do everything in his power to get his hands on those documents. I suppose your course is clear. You need to return to Leywin Castle as quick as you can. I'm going to stick around and deal with a few more of these Waking Flame cultists. I still have a little anger to work off after that attack on my sanctuary. I suggest you return to Leywin Castle with all due haste. I'm an assassin, not a soldier. I've done my part. Now go do yours. When I'm finished here, if Vandacia is still alive, well, then we'll see what we shall see. That portal should take you back toward the exit, or to some terrible plane of oblivion. One or the other.
The Shadow Scale's remains are destroyed, and we are triumphant. Thank you, valiant traveler. I could not have finished this task without your help. Indeed, your actions ensured those remains can no longer be exploited. I am sure were their spirits still present, they would thank you for your efforts. Allow me to extend a more tangible gratitude. Here, for your help. Before we part, allow me to offer you some wisdom. Remember, as you journey through life, all things must pass in order to begin again. Knowing this simple fact eases pain and suffering. Learn to let go, and what was lost will be reborn. I will carry on, as is my purpose as a Niswo. I cannot say for sure where this responsibility will take me next, but change is the only thing that is guaranteed. Whatever path I walk next will be different from the one I walk now. And to you as well. I cannot say where my responsibilities will take me, but I do hope that one day they bring me to you again. It has been a great pleasure. Sithis the Changer is honored today, and the cycle continues.
Get those doors open. We need to get to the counselors.
They're barred from the other side.
Mercenary, you've returned. Everly's attempting to breach the barracks. Go!